Good afternoon, everyone. I thought I'd give you a nice, lovely picture behind me of my sweet dog in front of the fireplace as it's extremely cold outside. I've just finished looking at your poetry discussion board number 2, and I am so excited. I can tell a huge difference, and I don't know, and y'all might feel this, if it's because I think the subject matter was something that you're very comfortable with and you can see it more. And so that's really interesting for me to see how well y'all really did with the discussion board post on this. And I'd love to have an email feedback from you on why you think you really excelled on this, because everyone did a great job. A few things that I do want to go over. How to cite poem lines. I have put out an announcement with information from the Al Purdue website. When you have lines in a poem that you have to cite and you're citing more than just one, then you need to put in parentheses those line numbers. Now, in setting that up in your sentence, I would say do something like, when it in Marvell's poem, yada yada, and then set that up to give your citation. Another big thing, and I think this is important, especially for the poetry essay number 2 test. All of y'all are having an issue with speaker versus author, and it goes back to the short stories also. The author is writing the story, but the author doesn't necessarily control the story. I know that sounds really weird, but he doesn't, or she doesn't. The speaker, therefore, you don't want to confuse that the speaker is actually the author's voice, because there's no proof of that. The speaker is a creative product of the author's mind. So try to separate them. Like with in the short stories, I saw that issue. I think especially with Chopin's piece, there was the issue of getting the two confused. Just like in The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe is the author. I think most of us understand that The Raven, there's background there that relates to Poe, and so it's probably about Poe, but that's an assumption that you make. You've still got to address the Raven, the speaker, or the narrator of the poem as the speaker and not as the author. The same thing with these two poems. You have a speaker who is not necessarily the author, and that is very important for your essay test number 2. So in that essay, please do not get the two confused, because if you do, I've addressed that issue, and so I expect to see it rectified. On one of the things that was interesting too, and really not a surprise, I could tell that a lot of you were uncomfortable with addressing the issue in the poem, which was really sex. It's okay. Don't feel uncomfortable. Find words that you're comfortable with, but you need to be able to state concisely what you're talking about, and don't leave any confusion out there for the reader of your essay. I do like, for instance, Jamie used time in parentheses to mean like spending time with the ladies, and kind of use that as his way to make that point. Elizabeth had some great words that she used: sinister and predatory, saccharine, crass, aggressive. So find some of those words that tell what you want to talk about, and that won't make you feel uncomfortable. I also have to give commendations to our two Joshes. Josh Roselle brought in tone, and that really needed to be part of everybody's writings, but I saw it in his, and I wanted to commend him on that for talking about tone, because really that's what you're looking at in those two poems, is the tone and the difference in the tone and in the diction, as well as the theme. And to Josh Gray, I have to say, I really like your choice of words too. Carnal passions, sensual. Again, comfortable words that aren't blatant and crass, to use Elizabeth's word. So, but yet they're telling what they need to tell. And I really love the phrase "death as the natural speed bump." I really thought that was quite catchy, Josh Gray, so kudos to you. I really, really like how everyone is seeing the Worth and discussion board now. I feel like your responses are quality responses. I know you want to say, I agree. Don't use personal pronouns in your responses or in your posts, because you could say I agree and then go on to a new paragraph that's much more formal, because our focus really is on formal writing here and getting you to know when to turn that on and turn it off. If you have any specific questions, please email me. Yes, poetry test number 1 is on the next list. And as far as the citations go, because I'm just now seeing that issue with it and did not see it previously, I will mention that, but I won't be so hard on you. However, you always need to go back to your handbook or the Al Purdue website and make sure that you're citing correctly. That's for all of us, even folks who are going for their 3rd, 4th degree. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Stay warm. Oh, and last thing, any work that you missed for some reason and you need some grace on, I'm going to open all that back up around March 20th. And you'll have until the end of spring break to go back in and do what you need to do. However, I won't be available during the week of spring break. So any questions you might have, you need to get those taken care of either that Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday before spring break starts. So enjoy the day. Great job, everyone. Bye.